your boy's collecting the money.
What I got fucking horns growing out of my head here? I don't feel nothing. Man, I'm Stephanie. I'm not the fucking devil here.
But you do the devil's work. 6 of me men is proof of that.
Yeah, if I hadn't sent an invitation, you wouldn't have met me, would you? Come on, Queen. From what I hear, you ain't exactly a fucking nun yourself.
Mr. Schultz, you're not here to quarrel about your right to own your own bank. But I ask to respect my right to have me own. Comprenez-vous?
Oh, yeah, fucking vous.
Bon.
No, that reminds me of this thing that spick Henry Miro said. He said he had a boss to stand up to me. Las bolas más grandes. That's what he fucking said. You know something? He really does have big fucking balls.
Nah, give me a, you bastard.
You gonna shoot me this time, bub? If so, you might want to lower that a little bit. Hit me in the heart, so you don't make a mess. So, Dutch, you want to do this peaceful, or you want to make a go?
Boys. Lower the fucking metal.
Put him down. Tinichi, now ain't the time. Put the shotgun down.
Man crazy. Man real crazy. Think he can drop that man's balls upon me, Queen?
You forget one thing, T. Me no got no balls to lose.
We ain't gonna crease. Like Brunda or Miro.
Some you win, some you fucking lose. We got a problem. She's gonna fall. I ain't talking about her.
He's not gonna go away.
Cha-cha-cha to this Mardi Gras. I'm the dopest female that you've heard thus far. And I do get better, the voice gets wetter.
You too.
Nobody gets
I'm trying to fly broke niggas, man. We ain't selling this shit.
Thing with an 89 swing.
I had to vibe out to that guy on the hip hop though. How y'all feeling?
The uptown brainiac
Get back.
full effect MC Light is back.
Hey.
Better than before, as if
That was possible.
My competition, you'll find them in the hospital. Visiting time.
Greetings, and what up, though? We have a show to get to for you guys. It's been a long day. Voice is kind of, if I'm a little hoarse, excuse me. I've been talking shit all day. You can check me out on Chicago's finest, my man Juice in the Hood, the Good in the Hood podcast, episode 62. I'm on an episode somewhere way back in the day, a couple months ago, but you can check that out too. But just go follow them, man. Good in the Hood. And I'll put it somewhere. Y'all know how I do visually. We're going to get it going though. But this week, man, I just come to y'all to, get into my bag and talk a little bit. I see that people have enjoyed the previous episodes and work. Thank you. It is appreciated. Continue to follow and get in with the UVR movement. I'm getting a little bit of a hive, man. I'm shout out to my girl Queen Dub G, Athena. She calls them the Vanglorians. That's a good look. I like that. We just gonna chop it up real quick about a few things on this Sunday. I should really be chilling, watching Royal Rumble with my baby, because my my youngest baby, man, she loves wrestling. I don't understand how or why, but it's bringing the kid out of me again to watch some wrestling and shit. But first, before I get into the deep dive of today's show and what we're going to talk about a little bit, I just want to reference the why this show exists. I just spoke about it a little bit on Good in the Hood podcast, but there's a why to why I do this, and it isn't just to become a media mogul or gain some clout or popularity or the things that have some type of cultural cachet today or currency, cultural currency and being seen. It's more than just being seen for me. I spent a lot of time not being seen, i.e. me being a person that's talked about me on this. I've spoken about myself on this platform multiple times of me being a quote unquote rapper, or I'm not a rapper or any of that, but I have rapped. Why this exists, man, is why not? If you asking yourself that, if you thinking about starting some sort of platform, people all day that's trying to become the next DC Young Fly by being Facebook comedians or whatever the case. People portray their persona however they see fit, and this for me is just serving as a therapeutic video diary, man. My grandmother was a very entertaining person, and she also spoke on things, gave a lot of gems. She's given us a lot of gems in her life, and I would love to go back and watch her and be able to see her. So I tell my kids not to watch this shit now. I'm sure they don't always follow and listen to what I'm saying, because what pre-teenage person listens to anything that a person older than them says? But one day, I'm not going to be here. One day, our civilization as a whole isn't going to be here. So when they come back and discover this shit, I mean, who knows what they can digitally pull up or access. I mean, I would assume that the next civilization is going to be a more advanced one. So it may be nothing to pull up documentation of our life. And, in the event that I ain't here one day, like, this is my bro, like my bro that I just lost. I'm sure his kids would love if they had a video diary, if he had a video diary of his evolution, his growth, his dissensions. Because, I mean, this is what life is, right? It's a bunch of back and forth. They have those cliche sayings. A cliche for a reason, though. It's take 2 steps forward to take however many steps backward, or yada yada. Like, life is up and down, man. So one day, like people think I'm old and shit, and I walk around with this elder statesman like persona, I guess. And to be honest, I'm a kid to somebody. So and one day, given me taking care of myself and being here, I hope to be here in 20, 30 years looking back going, look at this nigga thinking he know everything. Or I don't think I know everything, but who knows what I'll see now if I look back in 20 years. And like I said, when I'm not here, my kids will be able to go back and just watch me become whoever I'm going to become. So that's more importantly about the why. It's also very therapeutic. I feel like I learned more about myself even watching this shit. Like me saying like. I probably have been doing it this entire discussion so far, is saying like every other couple words. And then I was watching this shit on the replay. Hey, I don't know who this is, but she twerking. I'm sorry, I'm watching the Royal Rumble in the background and shit, because like I said, my daughter likes wrestling, and then it's already starting. So, and I'm going to get into this before I get into that, but I don't know who this chick is, but she was, busted. But, yeah, I noticed myself saying like, and a bunch of times you get real self-conscious of yourself, looking at yourself on the back watches and the edits, and yeah, because this is all, I'm doing everything. Everything that you see happen on this platform, so far it's me, because you discover becoming a podcaster or whatever this, title you'd have for a person that you're watching on YouTube. You find, like, I'm gonna start recording myself, the behind the scenes or something, the things you go through making this thing come to fruition, because it is a process. It's me learning new things. It is it should be some bloopers. I need to start recording myself, because it's the technical struggle that you go through being a parent. You can hear my child out there entertaining herself, putting together sets and just learning your format and the way you want to project yourself into this stratosphere and whatnot. So it's a very interesting thing. I found myself being very entertained at myself, laughing at myself in the moments of adversity, or just when those types of things happen. But yeah, man, we're back. Another weekend. If you have not watched the last episode, watch that. Don't put me in a box, man. I just want to say that. I mean, you can do whatever you'd like to do, because this is for public consumption. And whenever you receive something, you got the right. That's the era that we're in now. Let's critique everything. Everybody has a voice and an opinion. That's always been the case, but with social media, it's so much more amplified. Our opinions are so ubiquitous in expression. It's everywhere. We all talk about how we feel about something. And we think there's a lot of people, whatever we think. But that's the gist of where we at. And people tell you what they like about you or dislike about you. So I've been getting you're such a positive, it's a breath of fresh air. Once again, I'm grateful for having gratitude. Thank you for all of the compliments and the love. But I ain't gonna always be kumbaya either. I'm gonna say some fuck shit. I'm gonna say this is life happening. This is real life happening before your very eyes. So don't put me in no box. It's a bunch of us running around up in here. I have a bunch of different, hey, I don't know who I'm gonna be until I cut this camera on. This ain't no scripted shit, man. We just talking shit. And I'm an over-analytical person. I have a lot of different, but I'm also a kid who grew up in the 80s, man. That was the boom of television, cable. I had a satellite dish in like 1985. Big satellite dish. You could lay in that bitch like a flying saucer. Like, I'm catching myself now. Like. And like I said, I started to feel bad at first, but I listened to a few other podcasts of more notable personalities and people who bring in a bunch of money who y'all love, and they say like 1,000,000 times too, so I ain't tripping. I would love to converse like Clifford Harris does. I mean, I am a person who, contrary to popular belief, I can speak well. I was a spelling bee champion all elementary school and shit, and going to spelling bees. That's how I passed a lot of my grades, because I wasn't doing shit in school. I wasn't the greatest student, even though, because I don't have an attention span. Even when we talking now, I can talk about one thing, go into the next thing. The one thing about me that's for sure is that nothing is for sure. That's why I started this, like Into the Why. You create statuses on Facebook, or you type on these social media platforms, and the perception, like, there's an etiquette to this shit, and people don't like to read long form shit, and I'm just long-winded, so why not? I would love to talk like Clifford T.I. Harris and just be sitting here like the diagnostics. Check this out here, partner. This nigga, because his code switching ability is amazing. Check this out here, partner. The abilities of the diagnostics of the ambiguities and the civility of your, and I probably shouldn't say that right now, because, rapid fire for T.I., boom, boom, boom. I'll probably get into that later if I want to talk about it or not, but a lot of the shit I be talking about, I don't really care about. And I have to find the logic in something, the part that I do care about, because I'm an over-analytical person. I like to look into, and I realize that in talking to people on social media, it comes off kind of descending, or it's just a lot of shit. And, people act like we didn't have these things called books, and this ain't me tooting my horn as if I'm some sort of genius. It's just we act like reading. Oh, I'm not reading all that. It's a lot of. I get it. Some people don't come here. I'm long-form conversation person. So what other way better to do it than to do it? And that's what we here to, talk about today. Because I grew up on TV. I didn't grow up on technology. I see how my kids interact to social media. And as a child, you become infatuated with whatever your ideal hobby is, So when we was kids, we had Nintendo, and I go back so far. My grandmother got us the Texas Instrument and the Atari and before the what we call the regular Nintendo. A lot of y'all might not know. The first Nintendo was regular because they had the Super one. When the SNES came out, it was Super Nintendo, regular Nintendo. Because if you was good about your shit, you kept both. But what was I finna say? See, this is another thing too. Memory, it ain't what it was before. I got a long career of partying, turning up. I done forgot whole summers. But back to the topic at hand, which I haven't even gotten to yet. But just opening up with some familiarization, man. Because people have podcasts where they got their friends and they kick it and they drink it and I'm my own energy. This is me talking to y'all. I'm on YouTube talking like it's just you and me. This is conversational. That's why when I promote it, it's we. What are we bringing? Even though I do all of this stuff to present it, it's we, because it's me and you having a conversation. So, like I was saying, I grew up on TV, and I was infatuated with that as a kid because naturally so. You got MTV, you got all of this shit, and it was soaking it up while life was happening around me. My mom and them was being parents and dealing with the ills of the world, and when you wasn't outside, because we did that thing called going outside, and it was in the house, and I was watching TV, and that's how I was learning the world. I mean, I watched so much TV to the point where I remember one time, quick story time, before I get into the topic. I'm watching, actually it had to be around the anniversary of now, because if wrestling serves me correct, Royal Rumble happens at this time every year, January. So this was like this time 20 years ago or some shit. I'm like 8 or 9 years old. I remember my mom ordering Royal Rumble for us when we was kids and shit. And this is, like I said, this throwback. It got to be like 92, 90. Hulk Hogan come out on this Hulk Hogan shit. You know what I'm saying? And I don't remember the conversation. This is 20 years ago. Somehow it culminated in me saying Hulk Hogan was black, right? Now, my mom looked at me like, damn fool. Hey, verbatim, bro. I'm not misquoting her. You don't forget this shit. And I'm from the 80s and 90s, bro. This is the be seen, not heard era. She said, you damn fool. Hulk Hogan ain't black. Now, like I said, 8 or 9. I don't understand that white people get in machines or spray themselves and look like us yet. And it's blowing my mind because how this black dude got this long, straight blonde hair. But nigga, Hulk Hogan was this complexion in 91, 92. That nigga was darker than the yellow and red shit he was wearing. And I'm looking at my mom so I can see her getting visibly more frustrated because I'm sure, especially at 7 or 8 or however old I was, I mean, I know better than to say it, but I bet everything in my aura said, all right, if you say so, that nigga there black. Hey, man. The things a kid mind can process. This is what I mean by us being infatuated with the things that we're into. I'm into this shit to the point where Hulk Hogan, this California dream fucking blonde, like in my mind, he was black. That nigga was black, bro. I don't care what you're talking about. But our kids, social media, bro, think about that. If at 9 years old, I could so much as see Hulk Hogan as a black person. Imagine what our kids see on social media. And that's what I'm here to talk about, man. It's anti-social media at this point because it's shrinking the world. I'm not coming here to stand on no soapbox and talk about how bad social media is the devil. There's a lot of good things that happen. I got some dope-ass people that I've been friends with for years that some I ain't never met. And some, I mean, shit, if you, at this point, We didn't all got to a place where we didn't found somebody to have sex with on social media. So, because anything that a human do, especially in America, if we can figure out a way to have sex off something, we gonna do it. I mean, shit, all of these years of us talking about technology and robotics, and the first thing we did when we was able to get some robots was try to fuck them. So this is what we do. We try to fuck stuff. So I bet you done got some action off social media. But it's also changed the way we view everything. Like, I remember when this thing was like the beginning of it, the boom, because I wasn't into, like, I didn't have Black Planet and all that shit. I mean, I did. I think I got a Black Planet page to stalk my ex one time. Like, and I couldn't tell you the name of it or nothing. But in MySpace, I didn't even create my own page. My shit was fire, though. I had the no bitch ass. Remember when Diddy had the no bitch ass in his logo? I had that shit all over my page, nigga. MySpace shit was cold, but I didn't even use it. Facebook was I felt like one of the last of my friends to get it. So some of my friends didn't get it, but out of the ones that got it, I was one of the last ones to get Facebook. So just watching it from its infancy stage to what it has become now, and it being the way we interact, even down to the way we critique stuff. I've watched the languages change. I've seen friends fall out. You didn't post me on my birthday, or I've even seen, and it's not an age thing. Everybody uses it differently, but I've seen people as old as my mother's age, people as young as, my little cousins and whatnot, get on posting pictures and shit and say shit like, oh, you didn't like my picture, and have legitimate gripes with each other over, like, the smallest shit. And I'm not criticizing nobody who do anything on it. I ain't trying to be the Debbie Downer of social media. I just know that it's making the world more antisocial. When they started talking about social distancing and everybody to go in the house, I'm like, well, shit, don't nobody talk anyway. You got a whole generation of people who don't know how to go out to a club or go out in a social setting and meet women or meet men. Like, you got people, like I've been on the phone with people who say, yeah, who will get off the phone and say, I don't talk, I text. And it's such it's a displeasing factor of life, but it's good things. I'm able to spread this. We're able to grow brands. We're able to do a lot of shit, but just the etiquette of it. This is why I started this, because I'm long-winded in how I speak. Look at how long it took me to get to this point. Just me talking and figuring out words. I enjoy dialogue. That's the reason we was fucking put here. But now people don't want to read shit. So, and you can't tell nobody's tone. I got tired of being, and I don't give a fuck what nobody think, to be honest. You can think what you want to think. A lot of you motherfuckers I don't even know, whatever. But I got tired of being placed in a stance of having to defend. And I realized that motherfuckers gonna think what they think regardless. But you can't even speak anymore. Well, you use a lot of words. So that means you're you over emotional, or you mad. That's the big one right now. Y'all, you mad? Everybody thinks somebody mad. And it's like, nah, man, we just having discussions. This is what the fuck we here for. We can't even probably have discussions without, because everybody has gotten so used to projecting. It's a highlight reel. Nobody's doing bad anymore. Everybody winning. Nobody doing, we got the trolls. And I'm not mad at the trolls. Some of them are, my guy Sellers, Bundles, me and him was having a conversation in front of his crib a long time ago, a couple years ago. And he one of them guys that is troll energy. A lot of asshole energy. And me and him was having a conversation. And I'm like, why you always fucking with people? Just and the hypocrisy in that, because I be fucking with people all the time too. But I asked him that, and we was having this discussion, and he said the worst thing you could do is ruin something. It was real, it was sarcastic, because we were kind of saying the worst thing you could do is ruin somebody's internet experience, and he right. This shit ain't made to be taken. Life ain't made to be taken serious. You're not gonna make it out alive, man. Stop always being so uptight about shit. So it's like, I do understand it, but then you have it's a thin line between everything at this point. Those people who blend trolling in with the fact that you real life miserable and you a hater for real. Because being a hater wasn't cool at one point in time, and you probably been a hating ass nigga your whole life. And now it's cool to hate because you can put it under the guise of trolling. And it's like, well, it's a slippery slope with everything. And I think that back to my point in the very unrealistic visions you have as a kid when trying to interpret things. Just think about that. We all know a couple adults who be real life mad, who be going crazy on social media. We know some people who are addicted to it, who can't function without it. My mom think I'm addicted to it, but I do it. I'm in a phone where I edit pods, I run new. It's a lot more things that I'm doing in a phone than being on. I could go on hiatuses from social media and still be on my phone all day. So the technology in itself, it's filling such a big void. It's almost becoming the only void. That's a really bad slippery slope. I think that we're gonna look back at this time and realize the equivalent, like us letting our kids have this shit at such young ages. It's gonna be the equivalent to when kids and shit smoke cigarettes. Cause I'm sure at one point in time that was a thing. And they had to put the age. Think about it. You gotta be 18 to buy cigarettes, or now it's 21. Finally, like we just changed these ages and we maneuver them around to fit what we think the criteria of what something should be is. And I think we're gonna look back in 10 or 15 years and realize that giving our kids social media was just as bad as giving kids cigarettes and alcohol at a young age. They wasn't mentally, their brains are being developed right now. They say your brain don't even develop until you're 25 all the way. I think for men, it's later. So we giving our kids that shit, bro, and we can't just send them in the room with a phone. That's my point. Social media has changed too much shit, and we all need to detach from this shit periodically and close in the gap with each other more in life. Like, it's made the world smaller. I can talk to people all over the world at one time right now. It's made us think the world is smaller than it is. People thought they don't have to go nowhere, but because you can see it in your friend timeline, no. You get out here and you see this world is a big fucking place, and we need to, and we have to develop social skills again. People lack social skills because they grew up on technology. We say anything now because everybody's trying to have a hot take, or the hot take, or like people just, that's how clout chasing is even a thing. When I was coming up, the word clout didn't mean having a bunch of people like you. There's likes, these fucking blue things. You got so many people who do shit for these blue things. Niggas be lying. People like, for what? People don't even want to validate themselves anymore because these fucking idiot boxes make us just completely abandon the person we was before they existed. And some of us don't even know what life was like before they existed. And we aren't doing we're doing a disservice to each other by not interacting formally. So I think I might have spent too much time talking about this, but I'm just saying, man, balance. You need to balance this shit out. What did Nora used to say? Level spelled backwards is level or some shit like that. It'd be a lot of niggas be saying on social media to make themselves seem fake deep, or fake woke or some shit, but just do better as a whole. I could have really, as a matter of fact, this whole anti-social media discussion, this is gonna take more than one episode, man. We gonna really have to deep dive into this shit. So I'm not gonna waste no more of your time conveying my point on that subject, because you feel me. You smell what I'm cooking? Let me in! Oh, shit. So when I started in this whole new environment, and I started doing the beginning of the year, I started talking about things that I would like to see change in some way, shape, or form? There probably won't. So I had a list so long that episode, last volume 7, was an hour long, and that's the longest that I've ever given. I really wanted to keep going. So I felt like, why not make it a show segment? So we're now at the wishful thinking portion of the show. And what that is that'll be a continuation of what we've been talking about in the first episode. Things you want to see change that you know good and goddamn well that's not going to happen. And since we're speaking about social media, and that's kind of what this episode is about, instant outrage. Like, instant anything. Shit. I mean, if it ain't instant grits with some cheese in that thing, instant oatmeal may be like, what are we talking about? And that's not even the best. So it's like, why are we doing that? Instantly you see something, you come up with a conclusion. Like, the world is too presumptuous. Like, we think we know everything. Everybody a fucking detective. Everybody a forensic scientist. Everybody's a therapist. Everybody's a genius. Everybody, what is it that you can't do? I mean, and I know people probably say this shit about, well, they don't probably. I've had people say it to me, oh, you think you know everything. No, I know a lot about a little bit of shit. Or I know a little bit of shit about a lot of shit, honestly. And I can only speak on things that I do know, because when people are talking about things that I don't know, I exercise something that doesn't seem to be common anymore. I shut the fuck up and listen. You ever thought about giving that a try? I know that's the hardest thing in the world for us to do today, but shutting the fuck up is a thing. I promise you it's still a thing. I say that all the time, not even alleviating myself from that or sequestering myself from that thought process. It is for all of us. Sometimes I'll find myself about to speak up or already in the process of speaking up on something that I might not be as well informed as I think I am about. So I'll tell myself, yo, shutting the fuck up is a thing, Vic. Like, you can afford to just close your mouth in this time. I think we've forgotten, that's a lost art. It's us just learning how to shut the fuck up. So now it's instant outrage. I instantly formulate an opinion. And it's a lot of groupthink. So it's almost like when something happens and it becomes a digital discussion, there's usually like a majority. There's usually like two majorities and an unpopular. It's usually like, yeah, it's like two majorities and a major unpopular minority, where you either lean on this side, you lean on that side, or you can go sit over here with these motherfuckers going, I don't lean on either side, or it's just the most uncommon thing you could say about whatever the topic is. I like to lean into I don't lean on any side, but it's not on just trying to be devoid, just trying to be different than the major popularity. It's I don't know. I'm not well informed enough. I don't know. But we don't do that. There is no, I don't know. Everybody remember that? I don't know. People ask me questions all the time and I'm like, I don't know. And when we go look it up, Google doesn't have the answer to everything, but that leads me into like instant outrage. And I'm appalled. Now, I'm not going to sit there and say that there aren't some things to be outraged about from the moment you like. Racist shit is outrageous. There are a lot of things that are out, like rapist shit. Racist shit is outrageous. Rapist shit is outrageous. Violating, a lot of outrageous things you could be outraged about. But now it's about everybody got a movement and a belief system and I've seen it's like the whole cancel culture thing. And I guess I can talk about T.I. and shit like that, but not even T.I., but just saying in general, we'll rock with people and they'll say one thing that we don't like about something that we feel adamantly about, and it's like, oh, I don't fuck with them no more. Never in life will I ever fuck with that person again. Won't be like, is it such thing as agreeing to disagree or respectfully disagreeing? We don't have to see everything the same. Of course, there's some deal breakers, and I understand and respect that. But we just nitpicking about every little fucking thing, and it's ridiculous. Imagine if Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and those guys were public speakers. Imagine if their messages got, because their messages would get, is it convoluted? I think that's the word, I don't know. It would get lost in translation right now with all of the things. You can build up a bunch of, I just had a theory with talking to my homie a minute ago, where I'm like, people can, like, there is no forgiveness or there is no room to grow. Imagine if we never gave Malcolm the room to grow. That's the easiest reference I can go to, but it's like everything's that way. Like, we love Jay-Z, right? And I'm not saying everybody does, but for the average, I guess, hip-hop person is a Jay-Z person, right? And all of the good albums he dropped, some of the not so in, but if Jay dropped the trash album today, everybody would forget that he dropped Blueprint and Reasonable Doubt and, well, you know, whatever. And that's the thing. That's kind of how we are right now. We just get outraged and we just start judging people and shut the fuck up. I know I say that a lot on this show. I probably said it on multiple episodes. Shut the fuck up sometimes. Sit back. Give yourself time to process. You might even agree in some shit that you disagree with if you just give yourself time to be. That's our problem. We're all too immovable. We're all too, I won't budge on this because I feel sometimes it's okay to remix your theories about stuff. You don't have to always do that. But that's some shit that I wish would change, that we can get out of that thought process of we just have to stand on something no matter what it is, and we can just bulk our shoulders up and we like, stop. And cough shaming. Stop cough shaming people, man. What the fuck? Like, I get it. 2020 was a scary year. And when you see people coughing, it's a nervousness to it. We can't, I'm in my home and just touching stuff makes me like, ooh, I need to go wash my hands. Like, just touching stuff in my own house that I know is clean. Well, I get it. Corona is some scary shit. We done saw a lot of people die. We done seen a lot happen. Cold still exists. Dry throats still exist. I've been talking for 3 hours. My throat dry as shit. And masks are hard to breathe in. We still gotta walk around in masks. We don't have to keep on, like somebody coughing, like, oh shit, you didn't let off a grenade in this bitch. Like, no, bro, you don't have to do that. Stop making other people feel bad for them not being able to control what's happening in their thyroid glands or in their chest. Like, shit. People have allergies and shit still, man. God damn. Quit making people stop. Everybody need to stop doing this shit at each other all the time. We so combative about every fucking thing. Relax. Quit taking life so serious. You'll never make it out alive. I promise you won't. That's just some shit I want to see change. But now that we got that out the way, let's get into it, man. A weekly wacko is when we giving people their flowers for doing things that are absolutely egregious and or questionable as hell. And this week, it's a Florida woman. I don't want to be the person to like perpetuate that stigma that comes with being a person from Florida. I don't want to be the typical stereotypical, yo, you from Florida, you a little bit. But the type of shit that be happening there, shout out to everybody I fuck with in Hollywood, Florida, too. I got some people. I've been there. Lovely place. Well, if you're from Hollywood, you know what's up. Yeah, man. This week's wacko of the week is a lady that goes by the name of Shanna Vega. I don't know. There's a story. And I'll try to put it in here. Maybe if it's a news clip somewhere. Hopefully we can get a news clip. But if not, I'll get it on the screen so you can see this woman. Shanna Vega, Florida, had a discrepancy with her baby's father. And that discussion and domestic, I don't want to call it, that the word to use? Domestic disturbance. They were having a domestic disagreement. They was arguing and shit, man. And you know what happened? Baby mama argue, new baby, 1 month old baby, sitting in the crib, probably with some tussling. I don't know, was not there. But it culminated in her picking up a 4-week-old baby and throwing it at him. What? You threw a baby. A 4-week-old human being, person, the same thing that you are, the same thing that we all are. We are, 10 fingers, 10 toes, heart long. Everybody should not be able to procreate. It should be illegal. I mean, we have children's services and situations and things. It just don't go right, man. We get it. Everybody not meant to be a parent, but to take a kid, a baby, because this woman didn't even want this child. It sounds like to me, and I hate to be presumptuous, as I just did, or hypocritical in my presumption when I just said we should stop being so goddamn presumptuous all the time. But I mean, I have no information other than to speculate. I could read the article, I guess, but it sounds to me, whether I read the article or not, the story's only going to say, it's for sure going to say, it's going to say whatever the details of what happened is. But I feel like whatever's going on with that nigga, with that dude, you wanted the dude. And the baby was I guess the baby came with it. Maybe I don't want to say you had the baby to keep him, but it was about him. For you to not give a damn about that human being and the human being that you partook in creating, it's your job to protect it and make sure it can be the best possible human being that it has the ability to become. And you take it like, what kind of person is this baby gonna be? Like, sometimes we look at serial killers and fucked up ass people. Yeah, they are fucked up ass people. And that's just it's never no way to justify no fuck ass shit like being that way. But these are the type of situations that create serial killers. She threw a baby at a person. How angry man, I ain't gotta read this story. Fuck that goofy psycho ass bitch. She threw a baby, bro. But yeah, man. Like, human. Like, this is why you're a wacko. You can't just call that weird. We can't say that's weird. No, you're wacko. You're fucking psycho. Probably a sociopathic person. So Shayna Vega is the wacko of the week for this week. And these stories just come so, I don't even be looking for these stories. They just come. All right, man. Before I get out of here, let's talk about some music shit. So, first and foremost, I'm going to start by suggesting an artist. This is an artist that I tweet about a lot lately. He just put out a project this weekend. Beautiful Pain 3 by RJ Payne, man. This dude here, he's special, man. He's special. And it's crazy to me, right? Because I discovered RJ Payne sometime in the middle of last year. I think Eminem mentioned him. Some other big rapper mentioned him. And, I'd heard his name floating around a lot anyway. Just in me being a Griselda person, like this person or that person, listening to artists, there's this me always looking to find new artists. So I keep hearing RJ Payne's name and I go listen to him and I just see he got this Cocaine Could Talk series. And this boy rapping. When I say he rapping well. Production's good. And then so I just started going down an RJ Payne wormhole and I got this familiar feeling with him like, yo, this dude is dope. But it just felt like, and I just feel like he feels familiar because it's that sound. It's that upstate New York, bringing hip hop back, lyrical, street, introspective talk. So I'm like, RJ Payne is a dope dude, but he feels familiar. it didn't even dawn on me till December when I decided to go to his Instagram and find him and shit that it's Rain Man from Philly. I should have known that because I'm hearing the voice. Everything about it felt familiar. And if you aren't familiar with Rain Man, MTV used to throw these battles, these battle tournaments. Salute to my guy Marv One. I think Marv was in one. But this is where you got a lot of your early battle rappers. If you didn't watch battle rap on a personal level, you saw these. This might have been your first exposure to them, like the Ideas and the Blind Furies and those guys. Swan from Detroit legend. Like people don't give him enough credit because he didn't convert with the new structural things happening in battle rap. But Rain Man, I think he actually won that tournament to get like a Def Jam contract or like a Rockefeller contract, like 50 racks or something like that. I'm sure it wasn't a contract. It probably was, you got to meet them, go in the studio, do a joint. But Rain Man came out and he did his shit and he rapped. I don't even know if he made music. You know, I do recall him early in the internet era with a couple of joints and all of this shit. And that's what he just, kind of like wasn't around for a longer. So for him to resurge as RJ Payne, man, and him to be consistent. He put out a project every month. The last 13 months, there are RJ Payne projects. So go just type in RJ Payne and get them. But the most recent one is the Beautiful Pain joint. And this is Beautiful Pain 3. And this is like I wish he would put some vinyls out because I want to cop some vinyls from RJ Payne. Beautiful Pain 2 was produced entirely by Royce the 5'9". I think that's the other artist I might have heard. So I'll shout him out before I heard him. But it's a dope project. It's only about 15 minutes. You can listen to his whole catalog for last year, probably in about an hour and a half, 2 hours, but it's dope. It's good rapping. It's good beats. And then a lot of hook stuff, but you don't feel like you need a hook listening to this dude. So it's just phenomenal level MCing, man. And I just want to salute Beautiful Pain 3. Came out this weekend, man. Check it out. And more about our music shit, man. I want to come up with this segment called Respect It, or I don't know, Respect. Because a lot of you niggas, and I said this, in 2021, I'm here to put some respect on people's names, man. And I feel like it's only right if I start out with somebody who I feel like I've been tolerating the last 20, however many years. I wasn't big on that person, man. But I feel like now his name has become synonymous with a lot of things that aren't, like, he just don't get his flowers to me, man. And that's Ja Rule. All right, make sure I'm good. And that's Ja Rule, man. Like, we tend to make him the butt of the jokes. We know it was the 50 beef, and people will say 50 killed him, and we know it's a combination of things, street shit, the feds. Oh shit, I'm dripping. But we know it was a lot of things, man. We know that Ja was talking recently about a versus with 50 Cent, and like I said, I did not like Ja Rule. Like I didn't like Vinny Vitty Vick. The first one I didn't like it. I tried to even listen to it again recently to make myself. I didn't feel like Ja Rule was really saying anything that was like, oh, this shit is like I had to rewind it. But I've seen Ja rapping recently. Like Ja got bars when he went to have them, and then it's the second time it came around 336. Like I got tired of the singing, the Cookie Monster, and the I did not like that shit. But in a perfect world, me going back, like he got joints like Last Temptation. Like I started liking him toward the end, like when they said he was finished and shit. And the Pain is Love, I can't lie. In the prime of Ja, I bought Pain is Love. Pain is Love was just one of them ones. I fucked with it. He got joints that throughout the years when people now are making Ja the butt of jokes, that it's like, yo, in a versus, hey, man, him and 50 would be a good battle. It wouldn't be just 50 washing Ja like people think. And 50 could not win it. And that brings me to, could they do it? So it's just like I said, man, let's put some respect on Ja's name. Let's give him some flowers, man. But could Ja and 50 Cent do a versus? And I don't mean in the sense of, like, could they be in the, like, could it happen? I feel like Ja would be more open to doing it. And I think for the right amount of something, like, would 50 be able to put his petty shit apart to actually do it without trying to have a moment to capitalize off of during the battle? I feel like 50 would do it, and he would have to sit up his, because 50 is like a snake, man. Like, and I don't mean that in no bad way, but you know, like those type of animals that'll lure you in, and those exotic animals, like a tarantula or a snake, or animals that look beautiful, but they made to strike you in a very poisonous way. Like, I feel like 50 would have to have a moment in that. So I don't know if it could happen and just happen. You get what I'm saying? So, I don't know. You can comment. Tell me what you think. Do you think a battle, not would it, because we already know it won't happen, but do you think it's actually possible if they were to be able to say, you know what, let's do it? Do you think it could happen and go to the end? Because I don't think so. But, provide me with info and elaborate on why you think it could or couldn't happen. Interested to hear what y'all got to say about that. And before I get off 50 and I get ready to get out of here, I watch how 50 move, man. And I respect it, because it's just that same energy all the time. But there's been recent discussion about the Murder Inc. being shut down and it being the feds. And I think it was a Talib Kweli's podcast. Ja Rule was on there last week, and he was saying, let's keep it. This was Ja Rule's perspective. This is not the thoughts and views of myself, because I'm not personally involved in the situation. But 50, Ja was basically calling a spade in his perspective, saying that 50, he played both sides of the field to win. He was basically implying that he beat him up with R&B records, and he beat him up musically, and then they had their issues in the streets or whatever. He didn't say he beat him up there. Actually, he said Murder Inc. and them got the better of them every single time they had an altercation. But I wasn't there. That's what he said. And he also said the 50, and then he used the feds. He said 50 and them was the feds. He said they was the rap beef niggas, the street beef niggas, and they was the feds. I don't know. I don't necessarily know if I believe the order of protection thing. I know when you get into an altercation in a public space like that, and the police probably get called, I know that I don't know the logistics of how that works, but I do know that, things happen in that environment. I don't know if he went and personally filed an order of protection against Ja Rule or no shit like that, but he was talking about that, and it made me wonder. I've heard 50's son say, when they shot Sean in Power, that 50's son, Marquise, remember back in the day when they used to have the G-Unit DVDs, and they used to call him 25 Cent when he used to be on stage with G-Unit? I hope they figure that out, because that's fucked up to see a father and son had a type of dynamic, especially when as a kid he was in his life, So I hope, best of luck to them with that. But I was hearing that shit and I said, is 50 the real life? Everybody compare him to Kanan. Is he the real life James St. Patrick? Is 50 like Ghost for real? Is 50 out here, getting it in one way, and then like how he did Kanan? Is Ghost really based on James? Is Ghost really based on 50? That would be an interesting take, huh? Wouldn't it? I don't know, just something. Tell me what you think about that, too. It was just, that was interesting when he said that, made me think about that and whatnot. But, yeah, man, I just came here, you know, volume 8. We still going, man. I'm ready to go to double digits now because this has been officially going since October 1st. And we're in, you know, month 3. And we only had 8 volumes, man. But we're perfecting everything, fucking with the tweaks and getting everything going. You see the new backdrop, new artwork. We out here looking like Master P or Cash Money on a fucking cover. I'm doing it all, man. Hey, thank you, man. Thank y'all. If you've taken away anything from it, I would hope that it's to stay the fuck back sometime, man, and close your mouth a little bit. You can't learn anything if you always talking, man. You see the word listen, the word silent, the same letters. Yeah, man. So I'm gonna head out now. But remember this last thing, man. We are all weirdos. Calling other weirdos, weirdos. And that's how the story goes. Uncle Vick out. What's up, man? Come on. You want in? What? Come on. What's up? You wanted to be seen? Say yeah. When you gonna get this thing out of here? You don't need this. Yeah, look at you. You drooling like Daddy was. Drinking that water. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Hey, do. Hey, do. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Not a slobbery kiss. Yeah, give me a kiss. Yeah, slobber. Say hi. I gotta charge this phone up. Oh, who won? The chick with the ponytail won. Oh, that's fire. That's dope. Bianca Belair. You gotta give a wrestler. See, look. Pretty black girl. Yeah. That's good, Queen. See that? That's cool, ain't it? Let me see. What's the extension? Get the movement right. Mic check.